morning, student. Let us start a topic, importance of organizing. In the previous video, we have already discussed the various steps of organizing. Here, the points importance of organizing are listed. First is organizing. First benefit is it benefits in specialization. Second, clarity in working relationship. Third, optimum utilization of resources. Fourth, adaptation to change. Fifth, effective administration. Sixth, expansion and growth. And seventh, that is development of personnel. So these all are the head points. Let us discuss these points in detail. First, it benefits in specialization. How? As in the steps we have discussed, organizing first step is to identify the job and divide the job among the workers on the basis of skills and competencies. So here in organizing, every individual is assigned a part of total work and not the whole task. And due to this division of work into smaller units and assignment of units according to the qualifications, that leads to specialization. And the specialization automatically comes when an individual is performing one job repeatedly. Here, such division of work reduces the workload and increases the productivity, and that repetitive performance of a particular work leads to specialization. So this is the first importance of organizing, that benefits in specialization. Now come to the second point, that is clarity in working relationship. That there is a clear-cut relationship among the superior and subordinate. Who is the boss of whom? Who will give the order and instruction? To whom an employee is accountable? This is very clear in organizing structure. In the organizing function, it is clearly defined that what all and how much power and authority is enjoyed by different individuals or managers, and each managers know very clearly to whom he can give order and from whom he has to receive the order. So the superior subordinate relation is clearly defined in organization, and this is very important that everyone should know to whom he or she is answerable. So this is what the benefit of organizing, that it clarity is there in working relationship. Now come to the third point, that is optimum utilization of resources. How? See, in the organizing function, there are few chances of duplication of work or overlapping of work, because the jobs are assigned to different individuals by clearly defining the job in job description document. It is clearly stated the work of individuals, so there are no chance that the same work is performed by two or more individual. So the resources will not be wasted and it is properly utilized, and avoidance of this duplication of work helps in preventing the confusions and minimizing the wastage of resources and efforts. So and work is assigned as per the ability, and proper assignment of job avoid overlapping of work and also make possible the best use of resources. So this is the third benefit, that is it leads to optimum utilization of resources. Now come to the fourth point, that is adaptation to change. Means whenever the changes takes place in the business environment, then with the help of organizing function, these changes can be adopted automatically or systematically, because organizing functions create different departments and group related activities under each department. With this, changes can be adopted only in that area which may be affected by these changes, and changes can be easily communicated to whole organization through department. So organizational structure can be suitably modified according to change. Means organizing helps the enterprises to adjust itself as per changing circumstances. By suitably modifying the organization structure, and it also provides the stability to the enterprises so that it can continue to survive and grow in spite of changes. So as the work group of activity is divided on the basis of functions, on the basis of product, on the basis of zone, department wise, so wherever this changes, whichever area the changes is required, accordingly the changes are made to adopt in the changing environment. So this their modification is done in the organizational structure, so that it helps to adaptations to the changes. Now come to the next point, that is effective administration. Effective administrations, that it provides a clear description of job and clarifies the authority and responsibility relationship, and that leads to avoid the confusions, and this clarity in working relationship enables proper execution of work and bring the effectiveness in administration. That is, the similar and related jobs are grouped under one department, and which leads to unification of efforts and harmony in work. That is, organizing functions establishes the relation between different departments, keeping in mind the coordination among different departments. And by bringing clarity in working relationship, administrative efficiency improves. So all the departments are coordinated with their views and ideas. There is a coordination between the department, and that leads to the effective administration, and overall that also leads to the efficiency of the management. And then come to the next point, that is expansion and growth. How it is possible? With optimum utilization of resources and proper division of work and departmentations, company can easily meet the challenges, है ना? Proper uses of resources, there is a minimum wastage and proper skilled specialized workers, proper departmentations, and can expand their activities in a planned way. That is, if the work is delegated, means passing on the authority to the subordinate, allows the managers to reduce their workload by assigning the routine jobs to their subordinate, and it's give them time to concentrate on strategic issues and explore new areas for growth, because the routine work is delegated to their subordinates, and they are just focusing on the strategic areas that may leads to introduce the innovative ideas, innovative products, and that also give them the opportunity to innovate, which helps to strengthen the company's competitive positions, and it also develop the subordinate by giving them the ability to deal effectively with changes and realizing their full potential. So they are just increasing their potentials by just focusing on the key areas, and that leads to compete in the competitive market. And that is why this organizing helps in expansions and growth of the organization. Now come to the seventh importance of organizing, that leads to development of personnel. Why? Because delegation of authority is an important part of organizing, because the routine work is, if the work is overloaded, and if manager is overloaded with the work, he do what? He just delegate his some job works to the subordinate, and free himself and devote his time in the areas to develop new methods and ways of performing job. It gives them time to innovate new technologies and areas for the growth of the company. And delegation not only reduce the workload of manager, but it also help them to use and realize their full potential for more creative work. Instead of wasting the time on the routine work, they give their time and energy in their own improvement in the areas where the more creativity is required. They utilize their skills and potentials to increase the creativity, and that leads to overall development of the personnel. So see, these all are the point I explained under various head. Let us recall once again that organizing leads to benefits in specialization due to division of work and repetitive job, clarity in working relationship, that is superior subordinate relationship is clearly stated, and third is it is optimum utilization of resources, means there is a minimum wastage or no wastage due to the things handled by the skilled and competent workers, anytime adaptations to changes, effective administrations, that leads to expansion and growth, and finally that leads to the development of the person. So under 7 point I explained the importance of organizing. So this is all about the topic importance of organizing. Thank you so much. Take care.